Hey everyone, so welcome to another episode of the Ask Shane within the Ask Shane series. So, got a really beautiful question from one of our wonderful subscribers via YouTube channel. So, Angeliz Doyle, this is Angeli's question. I think it's one that actually has very blurry lines, and quite often people don't really know where it fits together. So, hello Shane, I have a question, not necessarily about the tarot. It come in via the video messages from spirit guides via the tarot cards. So Angeliz goes on to say, I had an experience where a vision of a friend come to me. So my question to you, Angeliz, was it a vision, was it a knowing, was it a feeling? So a vision of a friend come to you. I could see her dressed in red and she was over the top happy. I shared this with her by email. She got back to me right away telling me she was floored. She took a picture of herself in the moment at work. She was all dressed in red. Also, she mentioned about a few positive things going on in her life that were very joyous, explaining her happiness. I would love to know, what am I experiencing? Is it mediumship? Is it psychic abilities? Or is it something else? Thank you kindly. Much love. So, really good question. One that so often becomes very blurry. You know, is it psychic? Is it mediumship? You know, am I psychic? Am I a medium? Am I an empath? You know, what is it that I'm experiencing? You know, I think empathy is a very important subject to really explore, and maybe in a future video we will explore that in greater depth, because you know, pure empathy is a double-edged sword, you know, especially within my own experience. So I think we'll really explore that in another video as we go forward. But get this, am I a medium, am I psychic? You know, Spirit have often said to me, you know, discard the labels. Okay, discard the labels. I think it's important to kind of understand what is happening, how we are obtaining the information. So, you know, over these last few weeks, I've been, you know, really honoured to kind of overlook and kind of watch over and support and nurture a development group. And we were working with cards, and one of the things that I done as an exercise was I got them to read a card without seeing it, because I was absolutely, all of these years of working, I have known that the cards, any form of oracle, any form of tool, is a entry point to spirit. And the innate and spirit will work through you. It's just that it becomes an entry point. It becomes a vehicle for that to happen. So I kind of feel that sometimes we work between both aspects, you know, and it's all about kind of understanding how you're receiving the information. You know, was it a presence? Did you feel a presence in the room? Were you remote viewing? Was it a psychic connection? You know, a vision come, you know, so, you know, that tells me, Angeliz, that, you know, and any of you that are experiencing those things randomly, that the innate and spirit are teaching you, they are developing you, they are working with you. You know, I've always said, your greatest mentors in this life are going to be spirit firsthand. All of my experiences that I've learned have come from spirit themselves. And quite often it is them behind all of what you're experiencing. They are nourishing, they are nurturing. You look at that experience, you had a vision come to you, you then, in the moment, you described it to your friend was bowled over, she was floored, knocked off her feet by what you told her, and she responded straight away. You got the validation, you got the confirmation. You know, I feel that the innate is behind that. Spirit are developing you. And you do work with spirit. Angeliz, without a doubt, you work with spirit. You are in partnership with the innate. So the innate are strengthening your experiences. You know, so if I was to look at what you've experienced, I believe it's a combination of a psychic connection, which is a pure connection between you and your friend, feeling her emotion, knowing that she was, you know, joyful, and that, you know, even the colour red, you know, red is a joyful colour. You know, it's a forceful colour. It's a colour of celebration. You know, you think about the associations to Yule and solstice and even Christmas. You know, red is a theme that runs throughout that. Why? Because it's a driving force. It has links and connections to the evergreen, the red berries. You know, there's so much in there, but red is, and it's also kind of the base chakra, you know, so it's this sense of, you know, driving force and primal energy and celebration, you know. So there's so much information there that you got validated back, you know, it was confirmed for you. So my feelings are that you were experiencing a pure psychic connection, and without a doubt, I believe the innate and spirit behind that. So those of you that are, you know, kind of having those experiences and wondering what is it that you're doing, Spirit's answer is always the same. Does it matter? You know, do you need to define it? Do you need to label it? Probably not. Okay, but it is a combination of, I feel, all things meeting. You know, it's a bit like when a client sits down with me, I straight away feel their emotional state. You know, I get a sense of where they are, what they're feeling, what is going on for them. You know, that is a merging of a empathic connection. There's empathy, and then we've got that sense of a psychic connection, and then I kind of turn to spirit and always check into who's there, who's making contact. You know, how are they showing themselves? How are they presenting themselves? What mood, emotion are they carrying? You know, I had a lady appear to me not so long ago, and I knew that this lady was in spirit. She appeared to me as if she was pacing up and down the room. She was just pacing up and down the room. And I've learned and known for some time that that is all information. That is her showing me what is going on with my client. And actually my client was pacing up and down, pacing up and down. If you kind of look at that for a moment, you ask yourself, well, if that's all information, what does that tell us? Why do people pace up and down? There's your question. Why do people pace up and down? What's the emotional driving force underneath that? Okay, there's a thought. Now, I'll gently answer it, giving you enough time to kind of think about that, is there's an anxiety, there's a waiting. I'm pacing up and down, I'm waiting for something to happen. So then it was like, okay, so I said to my client, I feel I've got your mum, grandmother, female vibration, I believe it was both, and grandmother especially, and she's showing me herself pacing up and down. Well, that's not her pacing up and down, it's you pacing up and down. Okay, you're waiting, and you're waiting for a specific outcome. You're waiting for some paperwork to arrive, and finalisation and completion. She says, yeah, absolutely, and it's creating a lot of anxiety for me. You're absolutely correct. So it's taking the information and then understanding what it's showing you. So I think the greatest ways of working are when you're working naturally, and it's just allowing it all to move and flow without worrying about what is it that I'm doing. You know, without a doubt, many of you that are watching these videos, you are being developed by the innate firsthand, and I feel it's a combination of psychic connection, empathy, which we're going to go into, because empathy is a hard road to walk. You know, it is a challenging road to walk. Empathy, pure psychic connection, and then mediumship. and for me it's holistic mediumship. Hope you found that interesting. I hope that's kind of stirred up some thoughts. As always, a real pleasure to kind of receive all your comments, your feedback, and your messages, and wonderful questions that you share and write each week, and we will be working our way through them. So I'm going to leave all that with you, and as always, going to leave the love of the innate and spirit with you too. Thanks, guys. Speak soon. Bye bye.